Give me 3 Broncos players who you're going to be watching very closely on Saturday night in the second preseason game. Three for whatever reason.
Right.
They need to make the team. They need to show something. They need to show us they can replicate what they did against Seattle in the first game. Give me 3 guys. You go one, then I'll go one, then you go one, then I'll go one, then you know.
How about I go 2, you go 1?
No, I don't like that.
And then I go 1,
no,
you go
1,
2.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Osweiler. I think that's the most obvious one.
Okay.
Because you want to see if he can build on his performance. Ding, you're up.
Osweiler, because you want to see if he can build on his performance. No, that's a guy we have to watch him closely.
Right.
He is very possibly the future of this franchise.
Right.
John Elway and Gary Kubiak will be watching him even more closely than you and I.
Okay.
So yeah, he's tops my list.
You go next.
Now me?
Because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want.
Sambrailo. Ty Sambrailo at left tackle. There are still plenty of people, at least people who sit in these chairs and people who watch practice every day, who are still wondering if he's going to be the starting left tackle during the regular season opening game. We haven't heard great stuff from the coaching staff on Sambrailo. Yesterday at camp, he got his lunch eaten by the defensive line, and this weekend, he's going against very possibly the best front 7 in all of football, the Houston Texans. So Sambrailo's got to hold his own for a couple of reasons. Number 1, to secure his spot at left tackle, and number 2, to give Peyton Manning the confidence that he's not going to be put on his back after every pass play.
I think I could easily go with Ty Sambrailo because I think there are a lot of people out there who are sitting in these chairs that wonder if he could be the left tackle, and quite possibly he could be going against the best front 7 in football. But I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to go with Ronnie Hillman, because I want to see him build. But what I found impressive about Ronnie Hillman wasn't so much his running against the Seattle Seahawks. It was his blocking. And he picked up a lot of guys to keep Osweiler clean. My third guy is going to be literally off the board for 200, so I'll let you start.
Okay. Troy Rank mentioned him in an earlier interview.
I was going to go with Troy Rank.
Benny Fowler. Look, Benny Fowler showed really, really well against Seattle. Not just catching the ball, but made a couple of special teams tackles. And we all know that when you're 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, you need to play special teams and you need to contribute to special teams. So I want to see, much like Osweiler, if Benny Fowler can replicate what he did against Seattle. Because they do need one of these young wide receivers to separate themselves from the pack to make the roster.
I think the layup answer is one of the kickers, Barth or McManus. Yeah. But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go with Solomon Patton, a guy who looked good in training camp, catching the ball. Gary Kubiak said about him, even if he's great at returning punts, he's got to show me he can play wide receiver.
Quick as hell, too.
Right. He can play wide receiver, at least from what we've seen in camp. We didn't see it much in the game against the Seahawks. But he can't be dropping punts. So I want to see if this guy can not only catch a punt, unlike a Trindon Holiday, but can return it and then make some plays as a wide receiver. If he can do both things, for as much as everybody has fallen in love with the training camp darling, which is Benny Fowler, I think that Solomon Patton becomes that much more valuable.